Right, well guys, it's been a long time since I did a video. No, our little helper straight on the way. One of these days I'll get to doing these videos without the pity-pattying of tiny feet. Anyway, moving on, I'm full of cold, so it sounds a bit rough. Bear in mind, hello little lady, my little pooch here, come and say hello. Somebody's getting attention. It's alright baby, it's alright. Right, anyway, back to where I was. Right, what have I got planned? Well, as if any of you have remembered since the last time I did a video, I took this out in July. Hasn't been out since, and I knackered it big time. These are the axles from that, and I'm going to be using them on that. Now that's the background story. Right, now these axles these are the original links off the Land Rover, and because I've used aftermarket axles on this, bear with me while I just tip this behemoth of an RC over because it's very heavy. I use Endura TFL, I think they are pretty much the same company, it's just branding, axles on it. Now the links didn't work. It turns out all four of these are exactly the same length. I've just been measuring it. They're usually a different length from the upper and lower links, but hey, that's why it didn't work, because with these axles, the upper links need to be a different length. So I'm actually using HPI Scout links that I had bought a set of to use and never did. So what's the plan? Right, now, I was wrestling with how to get these axles attached to the truck. I've forgotten what it's that long since I've messed about with that for Ford Expedition. Do you know what? I've been researching these trucks for years and I've forgotten what it's called. Anyway, to get these axles on that, I've decided to use all the original axles. Now, because I took a break with Christmas, I've been doing work in a house now. I'm going to take you around a quick tour. Yes, this is how the kitchen looks now. Last time we saw this, first time we saw it, there was two small fridges here. We bought this big fridge. I had to take half the kitchen away to fit it. This is the door from here. I've yet to finish the kick panels up. Now, I've actually made the unit from an old wardrobe. It isn't a kitchen unit, just attached the door from that. That's where I've been, that's what I've been doing. You'll notice a decided lack of RC stuff up there. That's because I've put some shelves in the corner. There's a little alcove in the corner of the bedroom, like a little sort of that wide between the boiler and the window, that's dead space. I've managed to put some shelves up there, so pretty much all my RC stuff is up there. It makes me happy that the house has got less RCs visible when visitors come. It's Christmas and I didn't want the house to look like a scrapyard. I've got another couple of shelves to put up to get rid of all that lot, and then my kitchen will be a kitchen, not a 1/10 scale scrapyard. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been doing some remodelling. We've moved the living room around as well. This all takes time. When you finish work, you've got a couple of hours to do stuff. It's like, so I needed to get my house in order first, and I could get cracking back on with this. Now, in the meantime, I'd reached a full-blown the RC equivalent of writer's block with this damn build, and I've forgotten. I had no plans with the way forward. Now, I found this in pieces. I've just, in this bag here, I just bottled it all together. I'm like, ooh. So, what's the plan now? I'm going to put all the original links back on. I bought myself some threaded rod and some aluminium tube. I have had these lying around. I haven't got enough. I was going to do all four links so that they're matched. I've just ordered another set of those. So obviously that will take 3 to 18 months for them to arrive. They're coming from China, God knows. Right, so what am I about to do? I'm about to make some fresh links for these and put these back on them axles. Then with the finding up some screws and stuff, I'll be able to. This has already been cut in half for a previous project which didn't work. So, like I said, I've been wrestling with how I was going to attach the axles to the car. I'm going to use this chassis underneath that. I was hoping to completely scratch build all the underside, but I'm never going to get it done at that rate. At least this gives me a sort of hybrid of handmade and repurposed parts. So yes, these can fasten onto the existing rails that I have got attached to it for the upper suspension mounts. Same with the back ones on the back there. So I'll be using the existing chassis rails, but using all the mounting points from this. Now, there's actually very little difference in the gap between the sides of this and the chassis rails. So I'll be able to bolt this to the existing chassis rails as an anchor point. Now, I haven't decided what I'm doing with the drivetrain yet. I don't know whether I'm going to be mounting a motor in the middle or the motor up front with another divorce transfer case, which means I'll have to purchase another one of those because the other one's under big yellow, which is the yellow one of those for anybody who's new to my channel. and that's the plan. That's what I've been doing, and that's what I've got going on. So I'm about to, as you notice, I've got my hacksaw out and a ruler and a pen and a can of attitude, and I'm going to make some new links. Now, it's an A2 threaded rod, which turns out to be the same as M2. I'm new to this sort of imperial and metric conversions. We just used one at school, so I'm not used to using the other. So yeah, all I need to do is make these exactly the same length as those. Apart from a bit of manual labour, cutting, that's actually a fairly simple job. I forget sometimes that some people have never attempted this, so to me it's a fairly simple job because I've done this before. And when I've procured the new ones of these, when these come, I'll do the upper links then, and all of the 4 links will match the axles, which are grey and red. So I won't be painting that tube, I'll be leaving it to go and look scratty, because then it's the underside of a Land Rover. If you've ever seen the underside of a Land Rover, I don't think there's a shiny one. This is already way too shiny, it's not scale. I'm going to leave the original gearbox in place because so far so good, it hasn't failed. But I will be investigating. This is all, literally every part of that is aftermarket upgrades. There's no original SCX10 under there. So they're all sort of Chinesium aftermarket parts. So I don't want to rip it apart because it looks very cool. I was going to make like a Monster Jam truck out of that. So I may get myself another gearbox. Gearbox, and which will mount to that because it's identical aluminium piece that's underneath there. It's just all black rather than silver. And that's, I'm going to take this apart, and if one of those gearboxes will fit in the middle there, I'm going to junk the original gearbox in. But I don't know if it does. I don't know if I'd have to cut the seats for it to fit. Because as you can see, there's a full interior in there. I don't want to destroy it. I want to leave that exactly as it is. I've been Googling for all I'm worth this weekend while I've been sat doing nothing, because I didn't think this was scale accurate, the sort of hump in the back there. As it turns out, it is on some models and not others. It depends on the year, the specification. They are literally all different, Land Rovers. Mostly the 90s have that, but some 110s do. So I was wondering whether to cut that out, but that's where the suspension top mounts are. But it is scale accurate to some models, so I'm going to leave it intact. Now, if I have to reverse the motor so that the actual the spur gear and the pinion gear setup fit under there, I just have to reverse the polarity of the motor and see it to run the other way. That'll be what I'll do. Or it's a lot of work. I didn't want to, but I can also like I mentioned earlier, this thing is heavy. Get the motor up front, because there's a load of space there. It would fit in that big gap there. You can't really see it, but there we go. There's a huge gap there. It would fit there with a divorce transfer case in the middle, which is an additional cost. So if I can get away with that, I will. Right. Excuse me. I've been talking so long, my voice goes. Right, now I have made these. Now, I've also been Googling aftermarket LED headlights for Defenders, and I was going to widen the hole in these and fit these in, but I managed to make these like little mounting brackets on the back. The two LEDs from there go through and that, so I'll just sort of glue them in the back of that with some shoe goo or something that's, or one of them squeezy pens, heat gun. You can see my knowledge of words has improved. Yeah, so that's going to be that. These are really bright. They run off 4.5 volts, so I'm going to run them straight from the same power source that the ones that are in it are running from. And yeah, I have a light kit in it that even has flashing indicators when it's stood, but because I mounted it in a weird position, I pressure on the wires. I mounted it under there and under there even, and by putting the pressure on the wires I broke them off, so I need to solder them back on, something I've never done. Now I managed to get myself some electrically conductive glue, which I'm told has mixed results, but seeing as they're only 4.5 volts, I'm going to risk it and see how it goes. I may try to solder them when I've learnt how to solder. I mean, it's a very simple skill, but if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it, I'm telling you. Right, and that's where we're at. Yeah, video is much longer than I planned, but I'm back, people, I'm back. Bit more updates for this. I don't know if you've seen the light bar in previous videos, it's that long since I did one. And that's the plans. The plan is now for this one and that one up there to be working. It's Thursday, it's Wednesday today, New Year's Day is Friday. I was hoping to get this done before everybody came over on New Year's Eve. Not going to, so I'll just see what I can get done and pack it away. Right, thanks for watching, peeps. Hopefully more videos very soon. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you.